The horizon drifted silently, gliding through the dark expanse toward the forbidden fleet. Captain Elena Voss watched the scanners closely. Every readout flickered with strange energy patterns, unlike anything the humans had encountered. Lieutenant Rami's hands trembled slightly as he adjusted the sensors. "Captain, the readings are changing. The closer we get, the more the fleet reacts. It's almost like it knows we're here." Elena nodded slowly. "Stay sharp. Keep all shields ready. And make sure weapons are offline, until we know what we're dealing with." The bridge fell quiet. Even the crew who had faced pirates, rogue AI, and asteroid storms felt a strange tension. There was something unnatural about this fleet. Not alive but not completely dead either. As the horizon moved deeper into the sector, the fleet's shapes became clearer. Dozens of enormous ships floated in formation, perfectly preserved. Their surfaces shimmered faintly, like dark mirrors reflecting nothing. "Captain, sensors are picking up movement inside one of the ships," Rami said. "Or maybe a shadow. Something is moving in there." Elena leaned forward, frowning. "Impossible. All records indicate the fleet has been inactive for thousands of years." "But it's moving," whispered a crew member, eyes wide. "It's like it's waking up." Suddenly, a pulse of energy shot from one of the massive ships toward the horizon. The crew barely had time to raise shields. The pulse passed through empty space without hitting anything, but it left a cold ripple in the air systems. "What was that?" Elena demanded. Rami shook his head. "I don't know. But it's watching us, testing us." The captain's voice was firm. "We're here to observe. Not to fight. Keep distance. Continue scans and try to decode any signals." Hours passed and tension grew. Every movement of the forbidden fleet seemed deliberate. The humans could not shake the feeling that the ships themselves were alive, silently judging. Then the AI aboard the horizon interrupted. "Warning, unknown interference detected. Systems experiencing anomalies." The lights flickered. Sensors went haywire for seconds. Rami's fingers flew over the controls, trying to stabilize readings. "Captain, this is unlike anything I've seen. The closer we get, the more it interferes with our systems. Shields, engines, everything fluctuates." Elena's jaw tightened. "The fleet is active in some way. Not like a normal ship, it's aware." From the view screen, the crew could see a massive ship slowly turning toward them. Its hull seemed to shimmer in the blackness, casting shadows that stretched across space like dark fingers. The hum of its energy thrummed through the horizon, vibrating in their chests. Rami swallowed hard. "Captain, it's coming closer. At least a rotation. It's aligning with our trajectory." Elena gritted her teeth. "Keep scanners on. I want every detail. Record everything. And don't engage unless we have no choice." Suddenly, a transmission crackled over the comms, alien voices, frantic and urgent, in a language the humans had only partially translated. "Turn back. Do not enter. The fleet is forbidden. The penalty for trespass is annihilation." Elena's brow furrowed. "Who is this?" she asked. Rami translated quickly. "Some kind of alien patrol. They warn against going further. They say the fleet is dangerous." Elena leaned back. "We knew it would be dangerous. But if we turn now, we will never know the truth." We continue. As the horizon moved closer, the fleet's presence became heavier. Gravity sensors picked up strange fluctuations. Energy readings spiked and dropped unpredictably. Lights flickered across the bridge. The crew exchanged anxious glances. Then, as if in response, one of the massive fleet ships slowly activated. Engines hummed, faint blue light streaming from impossible vents. Weapons turrets rotated, scanning, awaiting. Rami's voice was tense. "Captain, it's alive. Not just powered. Alive." Elena's heart pounded. "We must be careful. Do not make sudden moves. Maintain distance. And keep scanning, everything, every detail." Hours passed like minutes. Every beep and hum of the horizon felt amplified, echoing through the empty corridors. Then the ship on the view screen emitted a pulse of light, not aimed directly at them, but enough to freeze the crew in fear. "Energy readings, it's reacting to our approach," Rami whispered. "It knows we are here. It's calculating something." Elena clenched her fists. "This is no ordinary fleet. We are not just explorers anymore. We are witnesses. And possibly the first intruders it has seen in millennia." A low hum spread through the hall. Sensors showed faint movement across multiple ships of the Forbidden Fleet. Shadows shifted, energy rippled, and the feeling of being watched grew stronger with every passing second. Elena exhaled slowly. All right, brace yourselves. We are entering the heart of the Forbidden Zone. Whatever happens next, we face it together. And in the darkness beyond the stars, the fleet waited, silent, massive, and alive in a way the humans could not yet understand. The real test was about to begin. The horizon hovered at the edge of the Forbidden Fleet, the massive ships casting long shadows over the dark void. Captain Elena Voss leaned forward, staring at the view screen. Each ship was silent, seemingly frozen in time, yet there was a pulse, a faint vibration that made the hull hum beneath their feet. Lieutenant Rami's fingers danced across the controls. Captain, the readings are incredible. The energy signatures are unlike anything we've ever seen. Ancient technology, but still active. Elena's eyes narrowed. Active? How is that possible? These ships should have been dead for thousands of years. Before Rami could answer, the Horizon's AI chimed. Warning, unknown life signs detected within the nearest ship. A hush fell over the bridge. What? Inside a fleet considered abandoned? Prepare a boarding team, Elena ordered, her voice steady. We need to see what's inside. Rami, keep the main ship at full readiness. Any threat and we pull back immediately. The boarding shuttle detached from the horizon, gliding silently toward the nearest massive vessel. Shadows danced across its surface, strange reflections of distant stars flickering like ghostly signals. Inside the ship, the air was heavy with age. Dust floated in the dim light, and the corridors were silent except for the shuttle's thrusters echoing softly. The boarding team moved carefully, scanning every corner. Captain, this is incredible, said Rami, his voice barely a whisper. Look at this technology. Panels, displays, they're from civilizations we haven't even discovered yet. And somehow, they're still powered. Elena walked slowly, eyes scanning the walls covered in strange symbols. These messages, they're warnings or maybe instructions. But we can't read them. Not fully. Suddenly, a low vibration ran through the floor. The team froze. Rami's scanner beeped frantically. Captain, someone, or something, is moving. We're not alone. Elena's hand went to her sidearm. Stay alert. Don't make sudden movements. We don't know what we're dealing with. A corridor ahead shimmered. A faint holographic image flickered into existence. A recording thousands of years old. An alien figure appeared, its voice strange but translated by the Horizon's AI. If this fleet awakens, the galaxy will face annihilation. The technology you see, it is not for any being to control. Only those worthy, those who understand, may command it. All others will perish. The team exchanged uneasy glances. The warnings were clear. This fleet had been hidden for a reason. Rami stepped closer to a console, his fingers tracing the symbols. Captain, this isn't just a ship. It's a repository of weapons, engines, and technology beyond anything we've seen. If someone activates it, entire star systems could be destroyed. Elena swallowed. And we are the first intruders in millennia. We could be the ones who trigger it. Suddenly, the ship's defense systems activated without warning. Energy pulses shot across the corridors, narrowly missing the boarding team. Alarms blared and the holographic panels flashed red. Back to the shuttle. Now. Elena shouted. The team sprinted, dodging pulses of energy as the corridors lit with deadly light. The shuttle waited, engines humming, ready to flee. As they reached the airlock, Rami grabbed one last console. Captain, look at this. A small screen displayed a recording of the fleet's creator, a message meant for anyone who found the fleet. If you awaken the fleet, you awaken history. You awaken power beyond reckoning. The galaxy will remember the folly of those who dare. The boarding team barely had time to react before a massive vibration shook the ship. The fleet outside had begun moving in unison, engines glowing faintly. It was awakening, and the humans had unknowingly triggered the first step. Back on the horizon, Elena stared at the view screen. The fleet had shifted, ships aligning with terrifying precision. She whispered to herself, we weren't just observers, we were catalysts. Rami turned to her pale. Captain, the fleet knows we're here. It's reacting to us. And I don't think it's going to be patient. Elena clenched her fists. We have to learn how it works before it decides we are threats. This isn't just exploration anymore, it's survival. And then, from deep within the fleet, a single pulse of energy shot toward a distant star. The star flickered and vanished. The bridge went silent. The implications were clear. The fleet wasn't dormant, it was awake. And the humans had just taken the first step into a war the galaxy had long forgotten. The Forbidden Fleet had secrets. And it was beginning to reveal them, slowly, deliberately, and with deadly intent. The horizon hovered at the edge of the now-awake fleet. Captain Elena Voss's hands gripped the console tightly. Every system on the ship vibrated with the fleet's energy, as if the ancient vessels were aware of their presence. "Captain, readings are off the charts," Lieutenant Rami said, eyes wide. "The fleet, it's alive. Not in the way we thought. It's thinking, responding, calculating." Elena swallowed hard. "Keep us steady. No sudden moves. We need to understand it before it decides we're a threat." The crew held their breath. The fleet, thousands of years forgotten, began to shift in formation. Ships rotated, engines pulsed faintly, and energy signatures flared like distant lightning. The shadows of massive vessels stretched across space, creating a dark and silent storm. "Captain," Rami said nervously, "the smaller ships are moving too. They're aligning with the larger ones, like a coordinated strike pattern." Elena frowned. "This isn't defensive. They're preparing for something." Suddenly, a deep vibration ran through the horizon. Every console flickered. The ship's AI shouted warnings. Unknown energy surge detected. Shields at maximum. Weapons offline. Systems interference active. The crew looked out at the nearest fleet ship. It pulsed with an eerie blue glow, light streaming from veins of energy across its hull. Then, unexpectedly, the ship rotated sharply toward them. The pulse wasn't aimed as a weapon, but as a signal. Rami's voice trembled. "It's communicating. Or testing us." Before anyone could respond, a beam of concentrated energy shot past the horizon, barely missing the ship. The crew flinched. The fleet wasn't passive. It was alive, aware, and dangerously unpredictable. Elena clenched her jaw. "All ships, brace for sudden movement. Maintain full shields. We do not fire unless we have no choice." Hours passed and tension grew unbearable. The fleet's ships rotated, shifted, and pulsed in strange patterns, each movement deliberate. Every reading from the sensors indicated intelligence. Calculating, analyzing, waiting for humans to act. Rami pointed at the scanner. "Captain, one of the fleet's ships is powering up. Engines, weapons, systems all online. It's massive, larger than any vessel we've ever seen. And it's staring directly at us." Elena's voice was steady but low. "We need to be careful. It's not hostile yet, but it's testing us. And tests can turn deadly fast." Suddenly, a pulse of energy erupted from the massive ship. It didn't hit the horizon but traveled across space to a nearby star. The star's light flickered, then vanished completely. The crew gasped. Rami's face went pale. "Captain, it just destroyed a star. Not weapons fire, just erased it. It has that power. The fleet isn't just alive. It's a weapon of unimaginable scale." Elena's mind raced. "We can't control it, not yet. We need to study it, understand it, or we will be destroyed." From the comm system, a faint alien signal broke through, a warning from a distant civilization. "Humans, you do not understand. Leave the fleet. Leave now. The cost of interference is annihilation." Elena shook her head. "We didn't come here to leave. We came to understand and survive. But we'll need every ounce of strategy and courage we have." The horizon's AI interrupted. Warning, fleet activity increasing. Unknown ships mobilizing. Probability of engagement rising. Elena turned to the crew. "Prepare for all scenarios. Shields at maximum, escape routes ready. And someone start decoding any patterns. The fleet reacts to human presence. We need to understand how." Minutes later, a new phenomenon occurred. Several ships of the Forbidden Fleet aligned, energy surging along their hulls. A strange vibration spread across space, and the horizon systems responded. Shields fluctuated, engines shuddered, and consoles flickered. Rami gasped. "It's reacting to us. It knows our emotions, our intentions. I can't explain it. But it's like it's alive in every sense, intelligent, aware, and judging us." Elena clenched her fists. "We're not just explorers anymore. We're participants in something far larger than we imagined. And the fleet is waiting to see what we do next." Then, without warning, one of the massive ships fired a single pulse toward a distant, uninhabited system. Entire planets were obliterated. The pulse wasn't aimed at humans, it was a message. A warning. A demonstration of power. Rami swallowed hard. "Captain, it's showing us what it can do. And I don't think it's done yet." Elena stared at the fleet, silent and immense. Her mind raced with questions, but one truth was undeniable. Humans had awakened a force that no one, not even the galaxy, was ready to face. The Forbidden Fleet was no longer a relic of the past. It was alive, aware, and it had begun its awakening. And with every pulse, every shift, every signal, the humans realized, survival would require not just courage but understanding, and fast. The awakening had begun. The horizon raced through the darkness of space, flanked by the massive Forbidden Fleet. Captain Elena Voss stared at the view screen, her heart pounding. Every ship in the fleet pulsed with energy, their movements precise, deliberate, and terrifyingly powerful. Lieutenant Rami's fingers flew over the controls. Captain, the fleet's activity is increasing. Every time we scan, more ships are powering up. And other civilizations are noticing. Sensors show approaching fleets from multiple sectors. Elena clenched her jaw. They'll arrive soon. We don't have much time. We need a plan, fast. The crew exchanged anxious glances. The Forbidden Fleet was no longer a silent relic. It had awakened, and every moment it remained active without control, the galaxy itself faced danger. Options? Elena asked. Rami hesitated. We could try to shut down the fleet. But I don't think we have the technology. The systems, they respond to humans but not like anything we've ever seen. If we make a mistake, we trigger destruction. Elena nodded grimly. Then we try to control it. We learn how it reacts to us and we use it strategically. That's our only chance. The bridge fell silent. Outside, the fleet's ships glowed faintly, almost like living eyes watching the humans' every move. Each pulse, each flicker was a test. Suddenly, the scanners picked up a massive alien fleet entering the sector. Ships of every size, bristling with weapons, accelerated toward them. Elena's eyes narrowed. They're here to stop us, she said. They've seen the fleet activate. They think we're a threat. Rami's hands trembled. Captain, we're outnumbered. Their firepower alone could destroy us. Never mind the Forbidden Fleet if it reacts. Elena's voice was calm but firm. Then we use the fleet. Carefully. Every action must be precise. We don't have the luxury to fail. As the alien fleet drew closer, the forbidden ships shifted in response. Energy rippled across their hulls and faint pulses streaked into space. It was as if the fleet was aware of the approaching threat, and waiting for human commands or hesitation. Captain. Sensors are picking up more signals, Rami said nervously. The fleet responds to our choices. If we hesitate, it could misinterpret. Elena nodded. Then we act. Plot a course to intercept, but keep the fleet between us and their first strike. Show them we are in control, or at least trying. The horizon moved forward. The fleet followed, engines pulsing, ships aligning with uncanny precision. As they neared the alien forces, the tension on the bridge was palpable. Every crew member knew a single mistake could trigger a catastrophe. The first shots were fired. Alien energy beams streaked across space, but the Forbidden Fleet reacted instantly. Ships moved, shields flared, and pulses of energy neutralized the incoming fire. The humans watched in awe and fear, as the fleet defended them without command. Captain, it's fighting for us. But it's unpredictable. Rami shouted. Elena gritted her teeth. We must stay calm. Guide it carefully. Every move matters. Hours passed in a blur of energy beams, flashes, and shouts. The humans realized the fleet was partially alive, partially responsive, but only to human decisions. Its actions were guided by strategy, instinct, and a strange sense of judgment. Amid the chaos, a smaller alien vessel broke formation and approached the horizon directly. Elena's hand hovered over the controls. Prepare evasive maneuvers, she ordered. Fleet blocked the path. The massive ships shifted, forming a wall of energy and steel. The smaller vessel collided with one of the forbidden ships, exploding into fragments. The pulse of energy from the Forbidden Fleet neutralized surrounding projectiles, protecting the horizon and nearby human ships. Rami's face was pale. Captain, it's saving us, but I don't know for how long. Elena nodded. We need a long-term plan. We can't just fight. The fleet reacts, but it doesn't follow us blindly. We must understand it fully or we will all die. From the view screen, another alien fleet appeared on the horizon. The galaxy was beginning to react to the Forbidden Fleet's awakening. Humans were now at the center of a storm they had only begun to understand. Elena turned to the crew. Listen. We will not retreat. We will not surrender. We will survive this, and learn to control the fleet before it decides our fate for us. Every second counts. Every choice matters. Rami looked at her. Captain, if we fail, this could be the end of multiple systems. Entire civilizations. Elena's gaze hardened. Then we do not fail. Humanity has faced impossible odds before. We will face them again. And we will survive, no matter what the Forbidden Fleet throws at us. The horizon surged forward, flanked by the fleet as the galaxy's first great test began. Outside, stars glimmered, alien ships bristled with weapons, and the massive forbidden vessels pulsed with intelligence. The race against time had begun. The horizon floated at the center of the awakened fleet, flanked by its massive vessels. Captain Elena Voss stared at the endless darkness, heart pounding. All around, the forbidden fleet pulsed with energy, power beyond imagination, and now the galaxy was watching. Lieutenant Rami's voice was tense. Captain, the alien fleets are closing in from multiple directions. They don't understand the fleet. They think we are the enemy. Elena clenched her fists. Then we need to show them without starting a full-scale war. But first we have to prove we can control the fleet ourselves. The crew worked frantically. Every scanner, every console, every system on the horizon responded to the pulse of the massive ships. Slowly patterns emerged. The fleet wasn't random, it was alive but intelligent, responding to human strategy, emotions and decisions. Captain, Rami said, pointing to a series of energy pulses on the screen. It's listening. It understands intent. We can guide it, but only if we act decisively and together. Elena nodded. Then we act. All ships follow my commands. Every decision must be precise. Hesitation will cost us everything. Outside, the alien fleet surged forward. Beams of energy streaked across space, and the massive forbidden ships responded. Pulses of shielding energy blocked attacks, engines shifted and weapon systems activated, but only when humans made a conscious choice. This is incredible, whispered a crew member. It's like it's alive, but thinking with us. Suddenly, a massive alien dreadnought charged directly at the horizon. Elena's hand hovered over the controls. Fleet, block the path. Massive vessels shifted, forming a living wall. The dreadnought fired, but its energy dissipated harmlessly across the fleet's shields. The humans watched in awe. The forbidden fleet protected them, but it was unpredictable, its power vast yet dependent on their decisions. Rami's voice shook. Captain, it's following our guidance, but it's not automatic. If we make one wrong move. Elena interrupted. Then we don't make a wrong move. We are human. We are adaptable. And we will survive. Hours passed as strategy and skill guided the massive fleet. The humans realized something extraordinary. The fleet didn't just respond to commands. It responded to human ingenuity, courage, and emotion. It judged, it tested, and it rewarded clever thinking. A smaller alien vessel broke formation and aimed a direct attack at the horizon. Elena's mind raced. She gave the command, and the forbidden fleet shifted, blocking the vessel with a shield of energy. The attack was neutralized, and the ship was sent spinning harmlessly away. Rami looked at her awestruck. Captain, we're controlling it. Not just surviving, it's following us. Elena's eyes softened. Not just us. Humanity. Our decisions, our courage, that's what it responds to. This is why the fleet was hidden. It needed someone capable of understanding it. Someone willing to take responsibility. But victory came with a price. A massive alien fleet from the edge of the system approached, and the forbidden fleet pulsed aggressively, threatening to unleash devastating energy. Elena realized the final choice rested with her. Destroy the alien fleets and risk total annihilation, or find a way to control the power without causing mass destruction. The bridge went silent. Every crew member waited. Elena took a deep breath. We show them, we are not a threat, she said. We control the fleet, but we will not destroy without reason. Humanity proves it is worthy of this power. Rami nodded, trembling. It's listening. It's waiting for your command. Elena focused on the fleet, imagining a path that would defend the horizon, neutralize enemy attacks, and avoid unnecessary destruction. Slowly, energy pulses from the massive ships aligned with her decisions. Shields expanded to protect human and alien vessels alike, and beams of destructive energy redirected into empty space. The alien fleet stopped. Confused, they observed their attacks faltering. Slowly they backed off. Humanity had tamed the forbidden fleet, not with fire, but with understanding, strategy, and courage. Rami exhaled. Captain, we did it. We survived. We controlled it. Elena smiled faintly. No. We learned. The fleet judges actions, but it also teaches. Humanity has proven itself today. But this This is only the beginning. From deep within the fleet, faint pulses of light shimmered across space. It was as if the massive ships were acknowledging the humans, not just as intruders but as worthy guides. The bridge fell quiet, awe and exhaustion mingling in the crew. The forbidden fleet, once hidden and feared, had become a symbol of humanity's ingenuity and courage. The galaxy would never forget it. Elena's voice was calm but firm. Prepare course for home. The fleet follows. We need to learn more. Somewhere in the darkness there may be other fleets, waiting. And humanity will face them, with courage, strategy, and unity. Rami whispered, staring at the glowing vessels around them, Captain, this power, it could change the galaxy forever. Elena nodded. Yes. But power without wisdom is destruction. We will learn, guide, and survive. Humanity has earned its place. The horizon led the fleet back into known space, its massive companions pulsing with quiet energy. The galaxy watched in awe. Humanity had faced the impossible, and survived. But in the distance, beyond the stars, silent fleets waited. Ancient power slumbered. And the universe knew one thing for certain. Humans were no longer to be underestimated. The forbidden fleet had chosen its guardians. And humanity had risen to the challenge. The deep black of space stretched endlessly before the crew of the horizon. Captain Elena Voss sat in the bridge, her eyes fixed on the flickering display. The ship had been drifting through uncharted regions for weeks, searching for resources and anomalies. Nothing in this corner of the galaxy had prepared them for what was about to appear. Captain, I'm picking up a signal, said Lieutenant Rami, his fingers flying over the console. It's unusual. Not like anything in the star charts. Elena leaned forward. The signal was faint, almost hidden beneath the usual static of deep space. Trace it, she ordered. See where it's coming from. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Deep space was dangerous. Every new signal was a potential trap. But something about this one felt different. Old, yet powerful, like it had been waiting for someone to find it. Rami's voice broke the silence. It's coming from the Theta X sector, beyond the edge of explored space. Coordinates show a fleet. But Captain, no fleet should exist there. None. A hush fell over the bridge. A fleet, hidden for thousands of years, forgotten by the galaxy? Elena's heart quickened. She had read stories of lost fleets, myths from ancient wars, but never imagined one would be real. Are we sure this isn't a ghost reading? She asked, trying to keep her voice steady. No, Captain. Solid. Massive. And it's old, really old, Rami replied, eyes wide. The ship's AI chimed. Warning, unidentified fleet detected. Unknown weapons signatures active. Before Elena could respond, the communication console crackled. A deep, echoing voice came through, unfamiliar and commanding. Humans, do not approach. Turn back now. The fleet you seek is forbidden. Danger beyond your understanding awaits. Elena frowned. Identify yourself, she said. Static. Then the voice returned, harsher this time. Leave. The fleet is not yours. It belongs to no one alive. If you proceed, the consequences will destroy everything you love. The bridge went silent. Some crew members looked fearful. Others, like Rami, seemed more excited than afraid. Humans had always been explorers. Fear was natural, but curiosity was stronger. Elena took a deep breath. Plot a course. We'll go closer. But keep sensors on full alert. Any hostile activity, shields up immediately. As the horizon moved through the dark void, the stars around them seemed to dim, as if space itself was holding its breath. Hours passed. Then suddenly Rami froze, staring at the main screen. Captain, you need to see this. On the screen, a massive shadow moved against the stars. At first it was only a faint outline, but then the shape became clear. A gigantic battleship, followed by others hundreds of meters long, stretching across the void. The Forbidden Fleet. The crew gasped. The ships were unlike anything humans had ever built. Sleek, angular, and silent. No engines burned bright, they seemed to drift on their own power. And yet, there was a sense of menace in their stillness, a quiet promise of destruction. Report, Elena demanded. All systems are reading, unknown technology. Weapons online but inactive, Rami said. No communication. No life signs we can detect. Elena clenched her fists. This was bigger than exploration. This could be the discovery of the century, or the start of humanity's worst nightmare. Maintain distance. Scan every ship, she ordered. We need to know what we're dealing with before we make any move. The crew worked tirelessly, scanning and analyzing. Strange energy signatures pulsed through the fleet, patterns they couldn't decode. It was as if the ships themselves were alive, waiting silently, watching the humans. Hours passed. The tension was unbearable. Then, unexpectedly, one of the fleet's ships shifted. Slowly, deliberately, it rotated, facing the horizon. Sensors picked up a faint energy pulse, like a heartbeat. Rami swallowed hard. "Captain, it's aware of us. It knows we're here." Elena's eyes narrowed. She had faced pirates, rogue AIs, even black hole anomalies, but nothing like this. This was not just a ship. This was history, danger, mystery, power beyond imagining. A low hum echoed through the bridge, vibrating in their bones. The fleet was no longer just a collection of old ships. It had awakened. And with it, something else stirred across the galaxy. The first whispers of a war no one expected. Elena stared at the fleet. She knew one thing for certain. Whatever came next, humans would not walk away unchanged. The unexpected war had begun.